questa vorrebbe essere una nuova presentazione di Londra, perché mi sono resa conto che quella che avevo già messo il link troppo lunga, più di mezz'ora, e non è stata molto visualizzata. Quindi adesso partendo da questa cartina vediamo un pochino di fare un percorso di Londra, una brevissima introduzione. So London is a metropolis, is a very big city, one of the biggest in Europe, and it is a very ancient town. In fact, it was founded by the Romans that called it Londinium, and the original ancient city is now called the city. And it is also divided into the city of Westminster, that is the part of the Royal London where there are all the royal palaces in London. To simplify how huge, enormous is the city, we can divide the city into four parts according to the position they have towards the River Thames. In fact, the River Thames divide the cities into four parts. The middle of the starting point that is the point of measuring the distance in London is Charing Cross that you can find here. It is also Charing Cross, it is also a very important underground station, and it is more or less here, Charing Cross. It is the point zero that divides the city into West End, the richest part, the original richest part in London, where there were all the most aristocratic boroughs. The East End, that was in the past the poorest part in London. Now it is the most modern part in London. And in fact, here you can see Canary Wharf, that is the new financial heart in London for business, with enormous high skyscrapers. One of the the most famous is the Shard, that is here, more or less here located. Here is the Shard, another important skyscraper in London. And this is the new financial heart of London, Canary Wharf, in the East End. Now, sorry, the East End is also a modern part, because most of the buildings that were built here have been now reconverted in pubs or other galleries or museums, such as, for instance, the new Tate Modern, that is the Gallery of Modern Art. Then the Thames divided the city in South London, also known as South Bank, sorry, and the northern part, North London, where there is the most popular attraction is Camden Lock or Camden Town, that is known for its vintage market. It has been it has become famous for young people in London, because it was the boroughs of London where the punk music started in the past, in the 80s and 90s. So, if our starting point is Westminster Bridge here, you can see here Westminster Bridge, and it is the most popular meeting point and starting point for a walking tour in London. In fact, just in front, if you start from here, that is the the Albert Embankment, that is the street that runs along the south bank of the River Thames. You can start here, and just in front of you, apart from admiring the enormous new attraction in London that is the London Eye, the enormous panoramic wheel that you see the south bank of the River Thames, very close, about a 10 minutes walk from Westminster Bridge. You can also admire or the Houses of Parliament or Westminster Palace with the famous iconic symbol of London that is the Big Ben, the clock tower. And if you cross from here, you can easily reach in about 10 minutes walk. You can reach St. James Park, passing through uh, Parliament Street and arriving at Parliament Square. And here you can admire the fantastic, incredible Buckingham Palace crossing through the parks. And if you turn here, you arrive to Westminster Abbey, very close to Parliament Square. Then you can also arrive uh, mm, uh, to Piccadilly Circus, or you can arrive to Trafalgar Square. That at the moment I don't see here, but it is just here. To arrive to the Covent Garden, it is not a simple walk. You have it's better you take the underground, and you arrive to Covent Garden. Covent Garden is another attraction of London. And it is also a popular meeting point for tourists because it is an open air market where there are enormous quantities of shops and stakeholders that are exposing their merchandise. And if you want to buy something very particular, depending on the day, you have antiquities or you have handcrafts or other things according to the day. You find different things in this part. It is also a center for entertainment because there are many pubs and you can listen live music and street artists that are exhibiting here. Covent Garden is close to Leicester Square, and Leicester Square is one of the oldest tube station in London, running along the famous old Victoria line. Um, this is you can have this kind of walking tour just in one day, in the morning and in the afternoon. Remember that the Covent Garden closes at 6 p.m. The following day, you can have a walk towards the East End. And if you walk along Albert Embankment, you can reach, even on foot, you can reach the Shakespeare Globe Theatre. That is a reconstruction of the ancient Elizabethan theatre. And you can also reach the Tower Bridge that is close to the Shakespeare Globe and have a look to the Tower of London that was the oldest royal residence since the time of the Normans. Um, eh, there is another important street that walk that you can have here it is not marked and maybe because the map is old, but just near London Bridge, there is the Millennium Bridge. The Millennium Bridge takes you straight to the Tate Modern. It is here, more or less here. This is London Bridge, and this is Millennium Bridge because it takes you to the Tate Modern and also directly to the St. Paul Cathedral. The map is not very correct because Tate Modern and St. Paul Cathedral, if you are walking along the Millennium Bridge, they are just one in front the other. And you can have this wonderful walk and admire a spectacular view over London and all its old buildings. The Millennium Bridge has been recently built in the year 2000, and it is a walking bridge. It means that only pedestrians can walk here. If you want to have another wonderful view of London, you can have near here. There is a sort of roof garden. It is an area, a public area, where there are gardens on the top of buildings, and you can relax. It is free, and the entry is free. Another landmark that you can't miss, of course, is the British Museum. That is, it is better you take the underground to reach the British Museums because it is just a long walk. And also, if you want to visit Madame Tussauds, that usually it is very welcomed for young people that wanting to see the statues of popular men, artists, or people. Okay. There is another part of London that is very unknown, and here you can't see that. It is the London of markets. Selfridges is an enormous shopping area, um, and it is also famous for shopping. For shopping, you can also go to Liverpool Street, or you can go to many others street markets that are around Piccadilly Circus. Okay, this is just an example of what you can see in London in few days. But remember, London worth a visit in every time of your life. If you have an opportunity, the better thing to do is to go there and wander around, getting around by yourself and enjoy the the magic of this city.